What up YouTube, Salvador Briggman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, we cover crowdfunding. We get into how to launch a successful Kickstarter or an Indiegogo campaign that sort of steer you clear from some of the major mistakes and pitfalls that are out there. And today, we're talking about some of the common perk and reward fulfillment mistakes that come with every Kickstarter campaign. Today's video is sponsored by BackerKit. These guys are awesome when it comes to survey and order fulfillment and really helping you so you don't have to deal with all these different spreadsheets. And they're a very effective tool that you can use to do things like reclaim failed credit card payments, to do stuff like upsells, do things like pre-orders. They're a very powerful tool, and I urge you to check out their link in the description. So let's dive into some of the common reward and perk fulfillment mistakes when it comes to doing a Kickstarter campaign. The first mistake comes with calculating costs. Calculating costs that go into fulfilling a actual reward, and there are a lot of different ones. So let's go through these really quickly and sort of some of the bullet points that go into actual rewards. So the first is the actual cost of the reward, of getting this thing manufactured in China, wherever it is you're doing, the cost of the reward. In addition, you have the shipping. You might have duties, you might have taxes, you might have the actual pick and pack fees if you're using something like a fulfillment company. There are costs associated with actually producing this large volume of orders. Could be other stuff like packaging, etc. So you want to break out the Excel spreadsheet and think a little bit about the costs that go into the actual individual pricing tier. And in addition, there are other costs. So like there might be marketing costs. This is going to obviously eat into your profit margin. There might be other tools that you're using, tools like BackerKit. There are other ways that you can sort of make a pie chart basically and say, okay, this is what the price for this reward tier is going to be, and this is where all the costs are going to be allocated. At the very end, there's a little bit that we're leaving as a profit margin in case things go wrong, or if nothing goes wrong and everything goes smoothly, this is actually going to be the profit for your Kickstarter campaign. In addition to the standard costs for reward or perk fulfillment, you also have some other kind of flexible costs, I'd say, or variable costs. So things like if you're doing stretch goals, how do announcing a stretch goal, how does that impact the overall costs that go into the campaign? The other thing would be add-ons. So if you have certain add-ons for different reward tiers, what if only a handful of people claim those add-ons? How will that impact the overall amount that it takes for you to fulfill those different rewards? So the first part here, the big mistake that I see comes in with calculating these costs. And unfortunately, you might plan to raise the amount of money you're trying to raise on Kickstarter, but what if you raise 10 times that? What if you get 10 times the order volume? You have to kind of project a few different scenarios. So the first scenario maybe is, okay, we only raise half of our funding goal. Maybe we don't get our credit cards charged, or if you're going with Indiegogo, okay, how then we're going to do that if we're doing something like flexible funding. Next, if you do hit your goal, how is that going to look from a cost perspective? Third, okay, let's just say we surpass it by 2x or 3x or 4x. You can sort of build out these different models using Excel to get a sense of how the costs are going to change based on the different way that the campaign can go. The second big mistake that I see when it comes to Kickstarter rewards or Indiegogo perks or rewards are overcomplicating them. And I see this all the time in the people that I'm helping and the students that I'm working with. They're trying to sort of accomplish too many different things with their campaign. They have a few different product ideas in their mind, like, should I combine this all into one project? Should I offer lots of variations? Should I offer lots of functionality, different colors, designs? You really want to try to simplify and streamline your rewards as much as possible. And that is the next mistake, is overcomplicating. Overcomplicating rewards. And these are the specific reward tiers. I think it's great. Like, you want to add a lot of value. This is a good hallmark of every single campaign out there, is you provide a ton of value in the eyes of anyone who's going to back it. But at the same time, you don't want to complicate this too much on the back end. So if there are too many different SKUs of your product, if you're offering too much or too many different variables or too many different variations of that reward, it's going to make fulfillment a nightmare, my friends. And it's going to be so difficult to actually make sure that you catalog this in your Excel spreadsheets. And in addition, you might not have enough order volume under these different SKUs or under these different variables to actually make this a cost-effective project. So you want to think a bit about how can you simplify and streamline the various reward tiers that you have. I can provide unique value at each of them, but at the same time, don't overcomplicate it. And the acronym that I love to always sort of cite is KISS. Keep it simple. I'm not sure actually what the second S is there for. Keep it simple, simply? I don't know. But keep it simple. That was something my dad would would always say to me is I would always try to like overcomplicate what I'm doing. It's like, no, keep it simple, get it done. Once you have a successful Kickstarter campaign or a successful crowdfunding campaign, then you can always go back and you can offer different types of rewards in your online store. If you're doing a pre-order, if you're doing a second campaign for your first project, try to keep it simple. You're already going to be dealing with a lot of different problems that you have to solve. The third mistake when I see different Kickstarter and perks and rewards is the survey process. So you have the whole creation of these rewards and you're thinking about the shipping, you're thinking about the cost, how to fulfill these, you then have the way you package it, the overall reward tier. Next is how do you get these rewards into the hands of people? Well, you have to send them a survey. You have to send them a survey to collect their backer information, their backer data, and their different preferences. I see a lot of issues happening in the survey process. For number one, there could be failed credit cards. You don't end up actually raising the amount that Kickstarter says you do. There's some failed chargebacks and some failed payments going in there. Number two, you could maybe not send a complete survey, so you don't get a full picture of the different preferences there. Or you don't send a survey that's going to help you in the most way with the order fulfillment phase of your campaign. I think the survey is actually a great opportunity as well to do things like upsells, to do add-ons, to deal with things like failed credit cards. So these are all basically different little problems that you're going to meet in the survey phase. Complication, and there are some ways you can deal with this. Obviously you could use the existing functionality that's there with your crowdfunding platform. You could break out the Excel spreadsheet to keep track of all of this. You can then hand off that Excel spreadsheet to something like a fulfillment company, or if you're doing your own in-house fulfillment, do it that way. But I would really recommend using a tool out there to help you with this. And there are a lot of different tools out there. I'd say there's maybe 1, 2, or 3 that are the better ones in the industry. The one that I've been working with for the last couple of years, they are sponsored my show, my podcast. In addition, this YouTube video is BackerKit. These guys have it completely handled. They've been around in the industry for a long time. They have some really killer functionality. I also have some YouTube videos out there showing you how to do things like upsells or how to deal with failed credit cards using their tool. Or even doing a pre-order. So I would recommend, if possible, handling this element of your campaign with something like BackerKit. Something like a survey tool to help this easier. And in particular, this is if you have more than, I'd say, 200 or 300 backers, this is gonna streamline the entire process. If you have less, you have maybe like 50 backers or like 75 backers, you can probably figure that out yourself. But if you're in the larger scale there, you're definitely gonna wanna have some help in this area of the phase. The fourth area that I see a lot of mistakes happening when it comes to crowdfunding rewards is in offer, which I also call presentation. Let me cover this a little bit and sort of get into explain what does offer and presentation mean. Well, there are a few different ways that you can sell someone on something. You could say, hey, I'm selling this great watch, or hey, I'm selling this pencil or this electric charger or something like that. You can sell the actual product, but that's not the best way to sell something, because then everyone's always thinking about the price. The way you want to sort of sell something is you want to package it as a group of value. So when you're putting together your different reward tiers, you want to think about, how can I list the different things that people are getting? How can I maybe name this reward tier to be something really interesting? How can I maybe upload a cool image, something that is visually appealing? And even in the campaign page, how do I structure this page so that I'm also outlining and selling these rewards? Now, I'm showing people what they're getting at this level, at the $25 level, at the $100 level, at the $500 level, showing them all of the different value that they're getting. And even doing things like ongoing as the campaign is continuing to be live and an order tier sells out, maybe you can gray out that area and you can create a little bit of urgency there. Like, look, things are selling out here. You want to use this as an opportunity to have an effective presentation. Don't just think about listing your rewards. Think about how you can present them in a way that makes people kind of want to learn more and also want to get in on it before the campaign is over. There are a lot of great places to get started when it comes to putting together your campaign, putting together your page, putting together your rewards, your video, etc. Obviously, this YouTube channel is one place that you can start. In addition, I have a free course on crowdfunding that will walk you step by step through this process and warm you up to some of these different concepts and strategies and ideas you can check out at the link in the description. And finally, I have a great guide out there, tricks for launching a successful Kickstarter campaign, that goes into some of the interviews that I've conducted and sort of have revealed some of the different tips and tricks that you can use and you can apply to your Kickstarter. And I will also link to that down below in the description. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. Again, my name is is Salvador Briggman. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to leave them down below. I use the questions actually as a way to sort of generate inspiration for the videos in the future. So if I do not answer your question, it's probably because I'm thinking about, okay, how can I answer this in a future video? So I do appreciate you leaving questions. Also, any comments are always very much appreciated, as well as a thumbs up. If you have not yet, take a second to subscribe to this YouTube channel, turn on notifications so you will get an email when I come out with new videos. An easy way to just stay up to date. A lot of people will listen to my videos when they're doing something else, or they'll just tune in for a little bit each day, and they're slowly learning about crowdfunding. So it's a really great way to sort of just download this information and to get up to speed quicker with some of the best practices with crowdfunding. Again, my name is Sal, and I will see you next time.